The marked jury submissions is a way to mass jury in and jury out your submissions. Now I say mass jury in and jury out, but your jury users will of course have already voted and ranked all of the submissions according to the 5-star voting system. So this is basically a way to use that voting or that metric and be able to mark lots of submissions at once as either in or out according to whatever criteria you have set up. So I'm going to go here and look at the submissions, and you'll see that all of the submissions are already juried. Each one has an average vote here, which means that out of all the users who have voted, the average vote or the average star value for this particular piece was 4 stars, and et cetera, all the way down to the end here. You can sort by average to see exactly how many are in a particular setting. Now this sorting comes in handy when you do your mass marking, as I'll demonstrate now. So I'm going to come back here to the settings here for the jurying, and let's say I'm ready to mark all of these submissions as either in or out. So let's say I want to start with category fine art. So I'm going to say mark all submissions in category fine art as juried in, where the average juried rating is greater than whatever number I choose. So I may not know how many submissions this is going to affect until I come over here and look. So if you know you have a predefined, let's say, gallery space that can hold 200 submissions, then you can go ahead and look and see exactly what number you need to select for each category in order to get to 200 submissions. Or you can just say, I'm going to set the value at 3, and whatever the jurors decided was higher than 3, we're going to mark in. That may be 25 submissions, or that may be 195. So you have a few options of setting this up. So I'm going to come over here to the submissions, and I'm going to go into my fine art category. So I'm going to select fine art, and I'm going to sort by the average in fine art from highest to lowest. So I can see that there's right now 5 submissions in fine art, and there's 2 5s and 1 3. So it looks like all 4 of these are 5 stars and this one's 3. So I kind of see an obvious break point here. So I'm going to mark all of the fine arts that are above 3.1 as being in. So I'm going to come back here to my online jury settings again, mark juried status. And this is a very important step here of marking the items. And so you want to take your time while you're doing it. It'll take 5 or 10 minutes to do these. So I'm going to say mark all the submissions in fine art as juried in, where the average jury rating is greater than 3.1. 3.1. And I'm going to say mark entries. And it just said 4 submissions have been marked. This is only a classification. No user notification emails have been sent yet. That's the next step we do. So if I go back here to the submissions and look now, I can see that, I want to go back here to my fine art again. I can see that those 4 submissions in fine art, which were above that value, have now been juried in. I still need to jury this one out. So I'm going to come back into my jury settings here, and I'm going to go back to fine art. This time I'm going to switch to juried out, where the average rating is less than 3.1. So that one value was a 3, so that should mark that one out. So I'm going to hit mark entries. It says 1 submissions have been marked, so let's go back to the submissions and make sure that worked. Let's select the fine art category again. And now you can see all of fine art has been juried that quickly. So a really handy feature, especially if you have tens or hundreds of submissions, you can mass mark those really easily. And this sorting feature of this column lets you quickly see exactly how many submissions would be affected by different point values. So you can quickly kind of gauge, well, if I marked 4.1, it would affect this many. If I marked 2.1, it would affect this many, etc., etc. You can also, if you accidentally make a mistake on your jury, you can manually edit individual pieces. So I can come in to this individual piece right here under the edit, and I can change this from juried out either back to pending, or I can just manually switch it to juried in and say update. So now I switch to jury in and it's back in. If I switch it back to pending and update, it's back to just neither. So you're able to switch each of those. Now, once you send the notification emails of course, the user's already been notified that their piece was in or out. So you can't make any changes as far as the jurying in or out goes after you send the notification emails. Make sure you have all of the juries marked as thumbs up or thumbs down before you send out those notification emails. So what you want to do is just go through each individual category and jury those. So I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to walk through this process quite slowly, as it's a very important process. I'll go down to my next category, which is photography. So it looks like photo has several submissions, and I'm going to sort by the average here. And it looks like there's kind of a break point between 0 and 2. So maybe 2.5 and up, I'm going to jury in, and 2.5 and below, I'm going to jury out. Again, these criteria are all yours, but I'm going to quickly do this one, and then that should be sufficient. You should have the process down. So I'm going to go to my photography, jury in everything that's greater than 2.5. So we'll jury all those in. And then I'm going to switch this to jury out everything that is less than 2.5 and mark all those. So that just marked 4 and 3. I recommend you don't do them back to back like that. Just do one and go check and make sure it worked. But I'm kind of hurrying here, so I'll switch down to photography. Excuse me. And you can see now those entries have all been juried. The photography category is done. And you just move through that process through each one of your main categories until all of the submissions in your call have been either juried in or juried out. Once that process is done, you're ready to send off the notification emails to all of the users.